Uh, Good morning. My name is Emma Wamuhu, doing fashion and design course, and I'm going to take you through art and design as a unit in fashion and design. So we are going to look at introduction to art and design, and we are going to start with the objectives. So the objective of art is it is used to describe art created to be an object that can be seen and touched by humans. Objective of art is the opposite of abstract art with no meaning or purpose. Objective art can be described in different ways. Now, from the objective, we have seen that the artwork is created to be seen and touched by human beings. So, we are going to look at elements of art and design. Art and design is the aesthetic arrangement of visual elements in a piece of artwork. Then we are going to look at drawing. Is a form of visual art, mostly by an artist, done on paper, can be done also on canvas or any other two-dimensional surface. And then we have another term, doodling. This is drawing made while a person's attention is otherwise occupied. So those are the few terms that we have in art and design. Now, today I've said we are going to look at elements, and elements are components which can be isolated, defined in any visual design of an artwork. We have various elements of art and design. Now, they may include color, shape, and texture and line. Now, let us start with color. Color is a matter that is perceived by sense of light. Color influences our decision and performance. Now, it consists of three properties, namely hue, value, and intensity. Let us look at shape. This is defined or implied boundary that starts out from the next space. It serves us as a building block for representing every matter. There are two types of shapes. We have the two-dimensional and the three-dimensional shapes. Now, the example of two-dimensional are square, rectangle, circle, and we have many more. Now, the two-dimensional, it refers to any form of visual art that exists in two dimensions. Now, the 2D art forms can include drawings, paintings, prints, and photographs. Now, this is because they are flat. This group does not include the 3D artwork, such as sculptures, installations, and 3D paintings. Now, we have examples of 3D. We have cuboid, cube, cone, and many other more. Now, the three-dimensional art is defined as art with all the dimensions of height, width, and depth. As you have seen, unlike 2D art, it occupies greater physical space and can be viewed and interpreted from all sides and angles. The 3D artists use various materials manipulated into objects, characters, and scenes to produce this artwork. The other element of art and design is texture. This is the effect of the appearance of a surface. There are different types of texture, such as abstract, actual, visual, stimulated, and invented. Under texture, we can also say that it is perceived, the perceived surface quality of a work of art. It can be perceived physically through the sense of touch, or visually, or both. Our experiences of texture in visual art relies on our experiences with the physical world. Now we can also we also have other types of textures in art, whereby we say that a texture can be soft. It can also be hard, smooth, or rough. Now let us look at line. Line in art and design is the path identified or traced by the movement of a single point. It can also be defined as a mark created by a pencil, ink, pixels, or paint. We have various types of lines. They may include vertical, horizontal, curved, and zigzag lines. Lines often define the edges of a form. Now, the definition of line in drawing is the most basic design tool on which almost every piece of art relies. A line, it has length, width, tone, and texture. It may divide space, it may also be used to define a form, describe counter, or suggest direction. Now let us look at the principles of art and design. The principles of art represent how the artist uses the elements of art to create an effect and to help convey the artist's intent, whether is aesthetically pleasing. The principles of art and design are balance, contrast, emphasis, movement, pattern, rhythm, and unity or variety. The use of these principles can help determine whether a painting is successful or whether or not the painting is finished. So in the next lesson, we are going to watch a video in order for us to learn more about principles of art and design.
Hello guys, in this video we will be discussing about principles of design. We all know the basic elements of design like line, colors, textures, which we all use to make our composition or art. These elements are like ingredients of a recipe. However, if we do not have a correct recipe, then we do not know what to do with these ingredients. Principle of design is like a recipe which tells us what to do with elements of design. So let's find out what principles of design are. In simple words, principle of design are a set of rules which need to be followed by every designer to create an effective and attractive composition. Basically, principle of design give us a layout to use elements of design so that we can make a composition which looks good and is also able to convey the message we want to. These principles are used in every field of art, whether it may to be create the world-class paintings or to create world-class architecture. These principles also help us to achieve balance and unity in our compositions. So these are the 7 important principles of design: balance, rhythm, emphasis, proportion and scale, movement, contrast and unity. We'll be discussing about each of them in detail. So let's see what balance is. To create balance, the elements of your design should be distributed in such a way that it creates a sense of stability. It should be both physical and visual stability. There are many kinds of balance, like symmetrical, which is also known as formal balance, asymmetrical or informal balance, radial balance, vertical balance, and horizontal balance. Let's see in detail. Then we can divide the composition from the central axis into 2 identical sides. Then we can say that it is having a symmetrical balance. In this picture, you can see that when we are dividing the picture from the middle, it is having 2 identical sides. So this picture has symmetrical balance. This is the famous logo of McDonald's, which is made on the concept of symmetrical balance. Many famous architectural monuments are made on the concept of symmetricity. Our own Taj Mahal is also made on the same concept. What asymmetrical or informal balance is? A symmetrical balance occurs when there are different elements to be shown in a composition on the either side, but still the composition looks balanced. In this figure, we can see that this big red square is balancing the smaller rectangles here. In this composition, the elements are different on both the sides, but as a whole, this composition looks balanced. The structure of this building is also based on asymmetrical balance. The tower here is balancing the elongated roof and the other elements of the architecture. This building is not in symmetricity, still this looks balanced. Both symmetrical and asymmetrical balance is used in designing field. The Mercedes symbol is designed on the basis of symmetric balance, whereas the Nike symbol is designed on basis of asymmetrical balance. Radial balance occurs when elements radiate from the common center. This kind of balance creates a very strong focal point and naturally viewers' eyes drawn inward into the center. Vertical balance occurs when we can divide the